So most of my videos, I'm talking directly to men that struggle with being skinny fat. And the reason I do this is I started off with a skinny fat physique where I had very little muscle, very noodly long arms, but still had a little bit of body fat around my face, my lower back, my chest, lower stomach. So I didn't really feel shredded and muscular, but I also didn't feel very big at all. And I wanted to fix that issue. And I've been coaching men in fitness for a long time, and I've slowly started to sort of niche towards the skinny fat physiques just because I feel like I've put together a really good way of fixing it, having gone through it myself and helping well over 100 men fix that physique as well. And the title of this video is Don't Bulk If You're Skinny Fat. And old me would have been in the comments going, what are you talking about, mate? I'm skinny, I need to gain muscle, and if I gain muscle, I'll burn fat. And there is truth to that, definitely. But after working with well over 100 men that are skinny fat, what tends to happen is when they start and they've got a bit of a belly they don't like, some bigger than others, I'll probably just put up some photos of like clients I've worked with so you can get a rough example. And they jump in like, yeah, bro, let's do this. I want to get bigger, I want to get stronger, let's add some size. I don't like the fact my, arms are skinny and my sleeves blow in the wind. And you want to fix that kind of side of things. And as soon as you get into a calorie surplus, you're going to be thicker and fuller. You're holding on to more glycogen, more water weight. The scales will go up. And if you've got body fat you don't like, those areas are going to start to puff out. They're going to grow. And over time, you're going to gain a little bit more body fat if you're eating in a calorie surplus. It's just part of a bulk, right? And a few months into a bulk at this point, some of these clients have turned around and gone, oh, actually, mate, I really don't like my chest. It's starting to stick out through the shirt a little bit more. Got a bit of a roll here, double chins coming in. And it made me realize that a lot of people think they need to bulk first if they've got a skinny fat physique. And it makes sense, right? That's kind of what I did as well. If you do that bulk, all the areas you dislike are going to get worse first. It has to get worse before it gets better. And what I find the biggest reason why you should not bulk when you're skinny fat is once you've gained that muscle, if you're lucky enough to gain muscle, which is hard, especially if you're skinny fat, there's going to be a lot of fat on your body, which means the cut at the end of that bulk that you're waiting for is going to be a mammoth. It's going to be a huge mountain you have to climb. And the longer the cut as a skinny fat person, you're quite likely to lose a lot more muscle. So a bulk, it's not necessarily wrong, but I wouldn't advise it because in my experience and working with other people, if you bulk when you're skinny fat, you're going to gain premature body fat. The areas you don't like are going to get worse. And by the end of it, you're not necessarily going to look any better or feel any better. And then you've got a huge cut to do. And if you do that cut wrong, you can go catabolic, you can lose muscle, you can lose size. And I'm speaking from experience. I've done this twice. So I'm making videos, and that's why these aren't flashy and edited. I'm making them almost like a conversation that I wish I had at the start. So if we can't bulk and we're skinny fat and we want to gain some size, what the hell do we do? Do we just go straight into a cut? Like, where are we at? What's the fix? What I generally do with my clients, and again, like I said, I put some photos up for reference, you know what I'm talking about, is we start with a body recomposition. All right, and I'm not going to sit in, throw buzzwords and try and make it sound all complicated and cool and download my 67 system bullshit. Just fitness world is full of crap. I'm just referring to a cut that has a smaller calorie deficit so that you're able to lose body fat, eat enough to function and perform and overload and recover in the gym in hopes of still gaining muscle on that calorie deficit. Typically speaking, you're not going to gain muscle in a calorie deficit. But if you're brand new to training, if you've not trained for a while, or you haven't done like a solid couple of years really progressively overloading and smashing it, then it's very likely you can still make some newbie gains, right? The gains that you get because you're brand new and everything you do is new stimulus. It might take a few months and they run out. It might take a few years. It depends on genetics as well. Now, my client, Reese, I always use Reese. I famously say I always use Reese because he's just the absolute textbook example of a perfect skinny fat fix. He started off long limbs, no muscle, big old belly, big old movies, and he actually already had a PT, a personal trainer, before working with me, and he just made him do a lot of box jumps, eat the salads, mate, all the typical personal trainer stuff you hear, which, and for those of you who don't know, I am a personal trainer. I got my level 3 qualification, my level 2, they don't mean anything. The stuff I learned there was completely bogus and outdated, and it's very minuscule surface level information, so most PTs, not all of them, but most of them don't know shit, and that's a problem, because that's why I stuck. I actually worked with the PT for a couple of sessions, and I was like, I want to get bigger, I want to get stronger, I don't know what to eat, what should I do? They were like, yeah, cool, superset Smith machine bench press with dumbbell punches, and yeah, that's it. I'm like, right, cool, won't be coming back to you then. But that's how it goes, right? Anyway, back to Reese. We were able to gain all that muscle in that transformation you've seen there whilst being in a calorie deficit. Now, this was 1 year. This was 12 months on the dot, hence why we got the photos of both. There was no bulk in this situation. He had been training before, and he hasn't necessarily got the best genetics, yet he was still able to gain a significant amount of muscle whilst losing the body fat. And that was done by doing a recomposition. And to achieve a recomposition, you just want a smaller calorie deficit. So everyone needs to know their maintenance calories, right? If you're not going to track your calories, good luck, because it is a lot of guesswork. And I started training when I was 14, and by the time I got to 20, I looked the same. And the reason for that was as I didn't know what my calories should be. I was training great, and I was eating all the right foods, chicken, broccoli, rice, mass gainers, having eggs for breakfast. I was doing it all right. Wasn't getting there. Calories weren't right. So I realized, holy crap, you can't just guess this stuff. You need to know your numbers. It's not just the foods, it's the daily totals. Now, talking of daily totals and calories and maintenance, etc., I always plug that I have a free nutritional blueprint. in the description. It's free. It just shows you the mathematical equation that I use for my clients and how to adjust it and what it means and how to set your macros. It's no BS. It's just literally, if someone gave me that 6 years ago, I would look 10 times better now. So go and download that for free. Anyway, work out your numbers. Once you know your maintenance, you want to factor in how active you are, what kind of routine you're following. So again, that's everyone's individual. You can't just use a calculator for that. Now, once you've got your maintenance with your workouts, we want a small calorie deficit. Small. We want 200, 300, 500 probably is the best place to go. Yeah, now you might think, well, what if I go to 1,000 calorie deficit, mate? What if I just eat 1,000 calories a day? If you're on a massive calorie deficit, you might get away with it for a couple of weeks because it's easy. You've still got residual glycogen. You're going to have loads of energy from the food you've been eating previously. But when you start to run on empty and you start to empty out your glycogen in your muscles, you're going to be tired, weak, sore, falling asleep, headaches, going to the toilet weirdly. It's just not going to be fun. But the reason that's a problem is you're going to lose muscle and your performance in the gym is going to slack and you'll probably binge eat and go back to normal. So a healthy, small, sustainable calorie deficit with high protein and a good workout routine that you can progressively overload on, and you're very likely to still be gaining some muscle if things are done properly. Good form, good rest, good recovery, good quality food. And that's literally all we did with Reese. Now, he's one of my online clients, so what we did is we had everything tracked in an app. We logged his food, we logged his weigh-ins, we looked at his macros, we looked at his workouts, performance overload metrics, and we also monitored his progress photos. And that meant every single week we were seeing what was going on. He knew exactly what to do. And when something inevitably starts to plateau or stop, we had all the data to go through it and adjust it so that he continued to make progress. And that, yes, I'm glossing over it. I don't want to sit here going, oh yes, we weighed out this and we checked that and we made sure that this mesocycle was this. I don't want to overcomplicate it. In simple theory, it was a small calorie deficit, high protein, lots of overload in the gym. And let's be real, the fact that I was helping him go through it and made him stay on track and made those adjustments, it meant that he could just get on with the workouts and know that he was going to get the results. And that's what led us to getting that head-turning transformation in 1 year, all within a calorie deficit and fixing the skinny fat physique and gaining muscle. Now, after you get lean at that point, if you're not happy with how much size you've got, you can always reverse diet. But because you're lean at the start and you've gained muscle, you can reverse diet, put in more calories, you'll have a higher maintenance, and you can start a lean bulk and start gaining from there. That's generally going to fix most people's skinny fat physique. Whereas a lot of people, skinny fat, think I need size, they jump straight into a calorie surplus, they basically just get fat. It might feel good at the beginning because your shirt's a bit thicker and fuller, but the bottom line is you're not actually fixing it and you're always going to be on that perma bulk. And I do know people that have done that and they're not happy about it, but they don't want to go on that cut, they're too scared of it. And that was also me. I've also bulked and gotten high body fat, and I did a cut and I started to get small and flat, but I still had the body fat, and I was like, this ain't the one. I'll go back on a bulk. And all I did was just kick the can down the road and never really fix the issue. Otherwise, I look 10 times better now if I did it right the first time. So this video is there to try and encourage you to do it right. So if you want to fix your skinny fat physique, I would highly recommend you do a recomposition first. If you're like, well, actually, I'm kind of skinny, but I don't really have much fat on me, get straight onto a bulk. And you might just think, mate, I'm just fat. Cool. A recomposition is still a suggested starting point because a recomposition is basically a healthy, sustainable cut without faffing around. Because if you just go, I got a body fat I want to lose, if you just do loads of cardio and eat loads of salads, yeah, you'll lose weight and you'll lose body fat. You will also start to go catabolic and lose muscle in the long run. And maybe that's fine. Maybe you want to look like, an insect or a rake, or like how I did when I started. But most people that watch my videos generally want to add some muscle and lose body fat. So recomposition is the best way. Download the free nutritional blueprint and make sure you follow me on Elite Transformation Project. And if you really want some help, I do offer one-to-one coaching. I've been helping people for the past 10 years, 6 years full time, and I've got a very, very good success record with clients. Like I said, I always pop them on the screen for reference. So if you want one-to-one help and you want to get started before the crowd rush in January, or maybe you're watching this in 2025 and you still want some help, message me on Instagram, or there might be a call booking link in the bio. It depends how many spaces I have, whether that's there or not. Or just reach out for a chat. I like to get to know people before I work with them anyway, because I want to make sure I'm actually going to be the right guy to fix their stuff. I'm not just some pleb that chucks you into a group and gives you a PDF. Everything I do is one-to-one because that's what's needed to fix a skinny fat physique. It's got to be custom. It's got to be precise. Anyway, like and subscribe. Many vlogs soon come. So I got this new camera and shit now. Hey, look at that. Cool. Anyway, have a great day. Bye.